At a funeral, Panos grieves for his father. His brother George tells him the death was unavoidable and that science has limits. Panos disagrees and believes he could have saved him. Upset, he leaves the city to clear his mind. On the road, Panos nearly hits a young woman who suddenly appears. He stops, but she faints, then quickly gets up and runs into the forest without speaking. Panos continues to a remote mountain village where he will work as a doctor. There, Mrs. Savasti gives him vague directions, but behaves strangely. In town, the locals are cold and unwelcoming. An old police officer offers him a drink, but no one answers his questions. Mrs. Mockery later tells him there was never a doctor there before. She takes him to an empty building where he will stay. That night, Panos hears a violin coming from the forest. The next morning, he prepares his medical tools, but no patients come and the villagers ignore him. He calls his brother and lies that everything is fine. That evening, he hears the violin again and follows the sound into the woods. He finds a stone house lit by candles. Inside lives the same young woman, Danae. She is wary of him, especially because he is a driver. Panos apologizes, and she slowly allows him in. He examines her and notices a bark-like lesion on her arm. A sound from upstairs interrupts them, and Danae says it is her drunken father. She refuses to go to his clinic, so he examines her at home and finds the lesions spreading on her back. The noise returns, and she quickly forces him to leave. Outside, her father attacks him, but Panos escapes. Back in the village, Mrs. Savasti shows Panos a photo of her missing son, Theophilus, and points toward the forest. Panos takes the photo but pays little attention. Later, he reads about a rare disease that causes bark-like skin growth, and he begins to suspect Danae may have it. After this, Panos goes to a shop and asks Mrs. Mockery about the isolated cabin. She avoids the question and instead brings out Mrs. Savasti. Panos finds the old woman injured and confused. They say she simply fell in the kitchen, but he does not believe them. While treating her, the police officer says Mrs. Mockery is careless for not watching the old woman. Mrs. Savasti repeats the words forest and old man, which Panos links to Danae's supposed father. He then hears the officer call Danae the cursed girl. Panos asks Mrs. Mockery about Danae, but she refuses to help and says outsiders do not understand their town. The police officer also refuses and believes Danae is cursed. Frustrated, Panos decides to act alone. He returns to the isolated house and finds the old man on top of Danae. Panos fights him, knocks him down, and the man is injured. Danae watches and tells him not to take the old man, but Panos ignores her and promises to come back for her. He brings the injured man to his office with Mrs. Mockery's help. While the woman prays, Panos prepares treatment. Some villagers arrive, and he asks them to care for the man while he is gone. Panos returns to the woods to get Danae. She lets him in, and he says he may not be able to treat her now because of what happened. He asks her to testify if needed. Danae offers him food and drink, and he falls asleep upstairs. When he wakes up, he feels like time has passed. Danae says he slept for 2 or 3 days. Panos is shocked and wants to leave immediately, but she asks him to stay and eat. She gives him another drink, which calms him. Panos insists they must return to the village so she can explain everything. Danae instead asks him to stay with her. He briefly embraces her, then pulls away and leaves for the road. After wandering the forest for hours, Panos realizes he is lost and returns to Danae's house. She lets him in again. He hesitates but agrees to help her carry wood. Panos applies hydrocortisone cream to Danae's arm, which seems to ease her condition. She gives him another drink. Later, he tries to tend the hearth, but Danae stops him, saying the fire must not go out because it keeps the house alive. Panos tells her she should leave with him, but she refuses, saying she needs the fire. The next morning, Panos wakes from a strange, recurring dream. He finds an empty glass in his hand and Danae close to him. Her skin looks better, and he believes the medicine helped. He gives her more cream and tells her he will bring more and help her leave. She offers him another drink, but he refuses. Panos tries to leave the forest again, but keeps getting lost and ends up back at the house. Danae is there, gathering wood as if expecting him. He asks her to show him the way out, but she says the trees are protecting him. His phone dies, so he is forced to stay another night. His brother George leaves messages he never hears. Days pass, and Panos begins to change, with his hair growing longer. Panos again asks Danae to take him out. She agrees and leads him through the forest. They share a calm moment, and Panos smiles as she admires nature. They kiss, and afterward, she tells him to gather wood. While doing so, Panos pulls a vine that snaps back and injures his neck. He bleeds and asks Danae for help. She covers the wound with soil and then blows on it. He loses consciousness. Panos wakes in the house, and his wound is gone. Danae says nature healed him. She retrieves clothes from a locked storage room and wears the key as a necklace. She then gives him a clean shirt before collapsing. Panos tries to treat her fever with medicine. She refuses at first, but eventually takes it. Her condition worsens, and she cries, angry and weak. Distressed, Panos runs outside and gathers rocks in a clearing, arranging them to spell SOS as a call for help. Back in the house, Panos asks Danae where she keeps the hydrocortisone. She shows him a cupboard, but he finds the medicine untouched. Danae tells him no medicine can truly heal her and says only trust and love can help. She asks him to believe in the forest's magic. She gets up and plays the gramophone. As music and violin sounds fill the room, she hugs Panos. She tells him she came from the trees and that she hasn't returned to her true form because of him. Panos gives in and kisses her. From then on, Danae's skin seems to improve. Panos even prepares herbal extracts for her, which she uses. They grow closer and spend nights together by the hearth, and her illness appears to fade. Panos believes love is healing her better than medicine. Meanwhile, George keeps calling Panos, but gets no answer. One morning, Panos notices his reflection in water and sees that his hair has turned gray. Shocked, he looks for a mirror but finds none. He demands to leave, but Danae tells him the forest wants him to stay. When he becomes angry, she distracts him with affection, and he eventually backs off. Danae warns him not to explore certain parts of the house because they hide secrets. Panos later hears strange noises outside but cannot find anything. That night, he sneaks out but returns when nothing appears. Back inside, Danae talks about marriage, but Panos ignores her and focuses on cleaning clothes by the fire. They argue about the fire, with Danae saying it represents their love, while Panos says it is only burning wood. He tries to put it out, but she quickly rebuilds it. Danae becomes frustrated and tells him to sleep separately and to stop their intimacy until he accepts their life there. Later, she prepares a rope and brings Panos to a large tree, saying it is connected to her origin. She ties their hands together in a ritual-like bond. When they kiss, Panos' hair suddenly turns white, as if his youth is fading. While Danae sleeps, Panos takes a lamp and sneaks outside. He goes to the girl's tree, spreads twigs around it, and pours fuel. The noise wakes the girl, and she runs after him. As Panos is about to burn the tree, its branches suddenly move and trap him to the ground. At morning, Panos wakes up and sees Mrs. Mockery. He calls her, but she runs away in fear. In the house, he finds Danae staring at the fire. She has become worse because of what he did, and she angrily tells him to leave. Mrs. Mockery returns to the village, crying and grieving over Theophilus' picture. That night, Panos sees Danae leave the house and go into the woods, where she waits by a tree for another man. Panos drinks alone and later sees Danae return. She plays a gramophone loudly, then stops. Panos becomes angry, hits her, and forces himself on her. She pushes him away, and he leaves upstairs in shame. Panos slowly weakens. Later, he sees Danae with another man. He breaks a bottle, goes downstairs, and quietly leaves the house with a key he finds. A doctor enters a locked room and discovers hidden boxes full of other men's clothes, including Panos' bloody shirt. He also finds a picture of Theophilus and a broken mirror showing Panos as an old man. Danae suddenly appears, attacks Panos, and he begins to lose his life force. She is shocked as he struggles to breathe. She then leads him into the woods, where he is taken away by Mrs. Mockery. Nature becomes silent as Danae's lover leaves the forest. Panos later returns to the house, but he is attacked by another man. The doctor tries to stop the fight and recognizes the attacker as his half-brother. Danae weakens the fire, and the forest slowly dies along with her. In the end, Panos buries her in the soil. The doctor leaves the woods with George. Later, Mrs. Mockery finds a young flowering tree where Danae once was.
And that's the end of the story. I hope you liked it. Comment down below what movies do you like us to recap next. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time.